What stories have you watched unfold in the news lately? Why do some stories go viral? The algorithm of the Matrix picks and chooses what to infect the collective consciousness with based upon their primal focal point of observation. If the majority of the collective is swayed one way, that is what the next big story will showcase. Everyone's observation perspective is unique to the individual, yet observers may become enmeshed in what many other individuals are observing. This is mass psychosis. A story that goes viral is how the psychosis is transmitted. What does a virus do after all? Take over its host.
The news behind the news. What's up, alien army? I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore. On this channel, we discuss everything out of this world. News. This is something that I personally saw in my 3D realm experience because these topics are all over the MSM as I'm filming this.
December 11th, 2022.
What's currently going on in the news media right now in the United States is some interesting thing. I'm gonna break it down with my perspective.
This is my channel, this is what I see.
If you see something different, feel free to keep doing you. And I'm here to talk about shit that resonates with me, that may strike a chord with some of you too. Let every eye negotiate for itself and trust no agent. Let's get into this special edition of Occult News. The news behind the news. What's currently going on the news here in the United States? There is some interesting stories coming out about Russia. I am not in Russia. I don't know what the Russian news media is broadcasting there. This is my perspective of American news, and all we're hearing over here is Russia. Russia. Chan Brady entered the fucking chat. And it seems to me as though the story with Russia is attempting to sway the consciousness collective of the United States to regard Russia in a certain way.
That's just my perspective and opinion.
Our next thing, which I noticed, they're talking about support Ukraine, and apparently the story that we're getting over here is that Russia wants the Ukraine to be a part of Russia again, and Ukraine doesn't want to be. They want to be their own country in alliance with NATO. At least that's the story that I interpreted. This story is going on, in my opinion, to attempt to sway the audience. Are you on the side of Russia or are you on the side of Ukraine? There's a WNBA player named BrittneyGRINER, and this person was allegedly a prisoner in Russia because they were found with weed, cannabis in their vape cartridge. Cannabis is illegal in Russia, and BrittneyGRINER was carrying it with as they were traversing in Russia, and then Russia detained them. In my opinion, contradicts the first story, is that if Russians are trying to defy NATO, which are alliances of the United States, that would purportedly maybe make Russia and the United States look like they have something against each other, right? A little bone to pick with each other. But then we see in our second story with Russia involved again, BrittneyGRINER was actually released from the Russian prison that she was supposed to do sentencing in, and was transported to the United States in exchange for a Russian prisoner that the United States has. I don't know exactly how politics works. I don't know. In my opinion, if the United States and Russia are opposed to each other, why would they be okay with making a deal, making an arrangement with Russia? I thought they were on opposing sides, right? One is NATO, the other one is not. But now we have a second story coming out involving Russia again. Like I said, Russia. They made a trade for the prisoners, which would make you think these two countries do have amicable relations. If they didn't, why would they even arrange a trade like that?
You see what I'm saying?
What's going on behind the scenes? Like, is the United States and NATO opposed to Russia, or is the United States working with Russia, like in the example I just said with the prison trade?
I don't fucking know.
Just my opinion, with no expertise in any of these arenas aside from spirituality and channeling. So now we have a third story. Idaho massacre story all over the place. You wanna know the fucking kicker though? The town in Idaho, United States, where the Idaho massacre purportedly occurred is Moscow. Or some say Moscow.
I never been to Idaho, so I don't know. How would you pronounce it?
It's spelled M-O-S-C-O-W, like the capital of... The capital of what? The capital of what? Did anyone guess Russia? Right answer. Is that bringing Russia again into the United States mainstream narrative for whatever reason? If you research that story, Idaho massacre, it ain't that pretty at all. So I don't know what that's trying to say, but again, please do your own research, formulate your own conclusions and opinions. Things that I say here are for entertainment purposes only. Why is Russia being brought to the spotlight of attention in the United States media? What do you think? Did you know about Operation Mockingbird? Operation Mockingbird is... Let me read it for you. The idea of a large organization controlling the minds and thoughts of individuals, pushing them towards a specific ideology and certain life choices may seem like science fiction or an absurd conspiracy that can be found in books and movies. However, for some it is certainly not a surprising discovery that corporations, organizations, and politicians manipulate public opinion in order to fit certain agendas. These are in turn manipulated by even bigger and more powerful organizations, such as the government itself. The CIA controlling and manipulating civilians' minds is not fiction. It is a conspiracy that turned out to be true during the 1970s in the US. Following the Second World War, the CIA was able to gain control over what was being published not only in the USA, but in general across the globe. It exerted much influence over what the public should be allowed to see and what should be concealed. In essence, it ruled what the public saw, heard, and read on a regular basis. Operation Mockingbird is a United States CIA campaign that aimed not only to influence the media, but also to infiltrate it. What the hell? Do you believe that that's true, that there really is an Operation Mockingbird? I got this from an online reputable source. Is this shit true? Could it be a bird, which is a representation of a messenger, be mocking, making fun of, trolling, clowning? The messenger is delivering a mocking message. Is the messenger making fun of motherfuckers? Thank you for joining us on this wonderful stroll. I am Oculus, the alien next door, purveyor of esoteric lore. We will chit-chat again soon.